Hey everybody, it's Astro D. For those that don't know, love and relationships, that's my specialty. I wanted to come on here, non-faceless, and let everybody know, yes, I'm still here, still making videos, and I wanted to talk about the mysteries of the 12th house, Synastry. I want us to dive into good and the bad of it. I'm going to talk about what are the pitfalls of meeting someone that has planets in your 12th house. What's the good stuff about it? Is there something good? Are these people your friends or are they your foes? Make sure you stick around and get all the information. I'm dropping all the gems I'm dropping from the sky like Jupiter. I think that's also really funny. You know, when you tell somebody, hey, I'm dropping jewels, and diamonds fall from the sky in Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet of wisdom and knowledge and information. Anyway, a couple years ago, I made a video where I discussed, are people in your 12th house your friends or your foes? But I got some feedback on that video, whether that was good or bad. But people came in my life to tell me, hey D, you know, so you think everybody's bad that's got planets there? So you just simply avoid all Scorpios? You know that's ignorant, right? Somebody tried to tell me that. Somebody's like, you know, that's ignorant, right? That you're just gonna avoid all Scorpios. Do your astrology. So I said to myself, of course I've evolved into this person that gives no about what people think. However, delivering a message to people, make sure that they got the message if you really want, you know, if that's your goal. So I'm gonna go into more of the things I mentioned in that video. This is what makes this video so compelling because it's a bottomless pit. The 12th house is a bottomless pit of information, of your information. And I think the stressful part about meeting people that have planets there is that they're able to see your weak spots. They're able to see the psychic holes that you have developed or that you've closed, because when we have trauma and we have pain, we develop these psychic holes. They're invisible. The 12th house is the house of things invisible. These psychic wounds and psychic wounds and pains and hurts that we don't get a chance to fulfill or heal, they become holes that are able to be seen in the spiritual world, but not necessarily the physical world for those that aren't paying attention. But the people that have planets in your 12th house, oh, they can see those holes. They can see the weaknesses. They can even see the strengths that you don't see. So that is the tough part here. The 12th house is the house of where things go, they dissolve, they disappear. It's the house of things that are disappearing, the house of unraveling, where we go to get lost. Then maybe find ourselves on another higher spiritual plane. This is a spiritual house of ghosts, fantasmas, okay? Spirits are blind spots. The subconscious mind that is operating. We're not working on our subconscious mind. We work on our conscious mind, but we have to work on our subconscious mind because that's where your 12th house is. That is your weak spot if you're not aware. If you're really not aware of your dark side, what are the demons you're facing, quote unquote demons that you're facing? If you don't know, that person's gonna know. And what does that do? Put them in a power position over you. So you are helpless. 12th house is also a house of helplessness. You have to surrender in the 12th house because you just don't freaking know. You don't know nothing. That's why I can make videos on this for years. Because again, it's just such an unknown house. We will forever be trying to solve the mysteries of this house. Mysteries can be uncovered in the 8th because they're conscious mysteries. But these subconscious mysteries, half the people don't even know what's going on. Everybody don't even know. Dealing with this subconscious house, your blind spot. I always use the example. When you're driving, you have a blind spot when you're driving. That's the spot that can get you in the worst accidents where you're at fault. Because why? I didn't see it. Damn. But you know, astrology, you're gonna see it coming. Let me get deeper in this. Now, I always talk about the debate I have with one of my favorite astrologers, and he always said, it doesn't matter. He was real contradicting too. Some of the best teachers aren't they? It's weird. I try not to be, but I noticed that. Some people are like, I thought you said 10 years ago, so-and-so, and they'd be like, yeah, so you've learned the lesson of critical thinking. And you'd be like, did you mean to teach me that? But anyway, he would always say, no, it's black and white, D. People with planets in your 12th house, be weary, watch out. Now my debate, because I'm that optimist, I try to be optimist, I really do, and I say, no. Benefic planets in the 12th house can create beautiful things. Help you discover parts of yourself you've never even seen. I'm gonna go over that, I'm gonna talk about the good stuff. But I got to talk about the bad, because that's the part, when bad things happen, that's when people move. That's when people get the YouTube in, and when people get into action. So, I'll talk about the tough stuff. If you might hear me talking about that more, because that creates a more visceral reaction. It really makes you listen when there's a warning, versus when, hey, everything's good, just do this, deal with this. Don't always work like that. This person with planets in your 12th house that's able to see your weaknesses, and my opinion, if they're benefic planets that are there, then this person can help you out spiritually. You won't really see it, and you won't really know how they're helping you out spiritually. Whatever goes there, however, gets lost. 12th house person who begins to lose, dissolves within this person in a way, whether it's Venus, the partnership, how you see the partnership, how you want to go about the partnership getting dissolved. Mercury, the things that you say, they cannot fully connect to. Fully be aware of what it is you're saying, for good and for bad. Whether it's Mars, if you have aggressions toward this person, it is in their blind spot. To correct what I'm saying here, you have to use caution. You can't go around avoiding these people, because you're going to be avoiding life. You're going to be avoiding life's lessons. I must say, the hardest lessons I've learned in my life, most of them were from people that had planets in my 12th house. This is my opinion. Even when I tried to justify it with this astrologer friend of mine, even when I tried to justify it, I knew damn well in my life, I noticed that shit. They will undo you. There's a potential of them undoing your life. I don't care if somebody's got planets in my 12th, 9th, 5th, 7th. Anybody can undo your life. You have to be extremely careful and have what? Boundaries. I'm gonna get into that. But first, let me talk about the pitfalls. What is the problem with people in your 12th house? You cannot see where they're coming from. If you can't see where a person is coming from, how can you truly connect to them? 12th house is a house of unknown fears. You cannot truly connect to a person. You begin to get paranoid. Paranoia is in the 12th house. Insanity is also represented in the 12th house. Crazy, the same asylums, people drooling and rocking back and forth. That's in the 12th house. People can make you go crazy. If you're not dealing with subconscious trauma and someone is constantly triggering it and tugging at it, they can activate something within you, especially if you're not ready. You'll lose your damn mind if you're not ready to handle that in your life. Maybe you're going through something that's equally as stressful in the same world. These people can see your weaknesses, capitalize on those weaknesses. Where are your holes? People with planets in your 12th house can have the potential of messing you up for years. You will lose yourself and have to find yourself all over again. These are people that have those stories, those murder stories where I was with my husband for years. I just couldn't see it. And he tried to unalive me. Did he have planets in your 12th house? You were that blindsided. This was spiritual. A lot of times this is spiritual. I do believe people carry things with them to take you down. That's why when people say, hey, I have messages, I had a message for you. I had to create boundaries on that. First of all, you have to be careful what you speak into people's lives. And I have to give you the permission to speak into my life. I don't know who your ancestors are. I don't know if your ancestors like me. I don't know if the spirits that you've attracted into your life according to what you're doing on a daily basis needs to be in my life or cares about me. Your message could be to deceive me. You might not even know it. So I don't do that. I got a message for you shit no more. That is the power of the 12th house. Spiritual issues for you that you've never known you had. The betrayal of this house. Mercury in the 12th house on the low vibrational side. I'm going to speak about planets here on low vibrational real quick. Mercury on the low vibrational side in the 12th house. This person could be talking all kinds of ish about you. You have no idea what this person is saying about you. You're finding things happening in your life They have no idea. This person is constantly thinking on your entire life, and they can see the weaknesses in your life. What they do with that, we don't know. We don't know what that person can do with that information, how valuable it can be for them. Somebody has Venus there. Now this is low vibrational. Somebody has Venus there. They could be secretly jealous of you. You have no idea. You have no idea that this person wants to be romantic with you. I'm sorry. That's cool, but not cool. Because I want to be aware of where people stand with me. I know we say we don't care about what people think, but I do need to know where you stand. Where you at? Do you respect me? Or are you, while I'm walking around thinking I could walk around with my bra on in front of you, but you secretly lusted? I don't like that. And I don't want to be the person doing that. So I usually tell people, hey, I'm feeling you, whatever's going on. I'm not, but if you're not, just let me know, because I'm not trying to be that homie lingering, but liking you to say, that's that 12th house stuff. The kind of stuff that will unravel you, make you go crazy, make you lose your reputation later on when it comes to your first house. Mars is there. This to me, Mars, Saturn is one of the worst. I said, I avoid these type of people. So everybody thought, oh man, you're just really gonna ish on a sign like that, a whole sign D, just gonna avoid all your life. And that's not what I meant. I meant I use a caution. I deal with these people accordingly. Doesn't mean that I think everybody's after me. We're gonna get to the solutions of this and you're gonna understand. Mars there, this person can have anger and aggression towards you. They can have sexual feelings towards you and you have no idea. This person can be plotting against you. Straight up plotting, your enemy. Straight up, you just have no idea. It's the house of hidden enemies, hidden intentions that you can't catch quite right away unless you are a very spiritual person, unless you are a very sensitive person that knows how to sense things, unless you are a person that goes into meditation and pays attention to your dreams, then you can catch them. But that's the only way. That is the only way. So if you're a heavy drinker, heavy drugger, or whatever, you're not going to catch nobody that got planets. You need to really avoid people that have planets in your 12th house. If you're a drinker or if you're someone that likes to escape through drugs, I'm not judging you, but I'm telling you, if you're into astrology, just avoid people with planets in your 12th house totally. Just do that. Because you're not going to catch them. You're not going to catch them if you don't pay attention spiritually, if you're not an attentively spiritual person. Saturn here, this is, I think, the epitome. This is really someone with bad intentions or someone that could truly depress your spiritual growth. It's funky with Saturn there. Eventually, I'm going to go into planets into the 12th house, and I'm going to do that series. I hope you guys are enjoying my latest series. I'm going through Venus, very nice and smooth. Mercury is on the way, Mercury through houses, Synastry, and I'm also doing the aspects because I am pushing this awesome reference book I've created of planets and aspect and planets and Synastry. I hope you can check that out. But always go back to my original ABCs of Astrology, A Beginner's Guide to Becoming Your Own Astrologer. That's on Amazon, and the links will be in the description for you to enjoy that book and learn more from me. Getting back into this 12th house life, pitfalls here. The pitfalls of totally unraveling yourself. All hard work that you've done in your entire life, because the 12th house is the full cycle of everything. Undo you. Death, to your death, to your leaving of this world on their low vibration. So this is why it is important when you see that someone has a lot of planets in your 12th house, you really like them, you feel in the situation, you want to keep going, look at their chart. Look at how those planets are being aspected. Is that person a spiritual person? Basically, what are they going to do with that power? Who are they as a person? And what are they going to do with the power of having planets in your 12th house? Because it is a power for that person. The planet person holds the power. So I said, how to avoid the pitfalls. Maybe I should name the video that, how to avoid the pitfalls of the 12th house. Boundaries, y'all. Don't let anybody tell you you got too many boundaries. Now I know you're holding up a wall. You're being hyper vigilant. Not in today's society. No such a thing. The 12th house is a boundaryless house. So what is the defense of the 12th house? Boundaries. Real strong boundaries. If you are and you have to deal with someone that has planets in your 12th house, you have to have more than normal boundaries with this person. And then according to the sign that's in your 12th house, A Scorpio 12th house will definitely create, if you guys have seen that movie, Single White Female. It's a very good movie from back in, I think, the 90s that movie came out. That was the situation I had. And I even had, what do they call it, Stockholm Syndrome too. Just after I released my book, I had to really learn this lesson of the 12th house. It doesn't always mean this person is necessarily always your enemy, and if the story is never just black and white. Even my story, that person, they were not bad or good in my life. It's more so about what was the lesson that was learned here about your weaknesses. Fill the holes. So the first way is to have boundaries. Don't just let nobody come up in your house going through your personal stuff. You can't go through my things. That's not okay. Speaking up, announcing those boundaries. That is the only way. Again, if you have to deal with somebody that has these plans here, whether it's work, business, it's your baby daddy, I don't know. Sometimes we need the lesson. And we have to learn. These are the people that teach us about boundaries. They teach you about your boundaries. They teach you about your blind spots so that it never happens to you again. So you have to understand how to block this from undoing you. Another way to block this from undoing you, know your weaknesses. Really dive into work on your subconscious mind. The first way to know your weaknesses is to look at your life. Where is it in your life you're unhappy? That's your weakness. Because sometimes we forget, like, I'm not happy with this. We get so comfortable and familiar with things that we forget, like, no, that's not okay. That's dysfunction. You're living in a dysfunction. Okay, that's not okay. And you have to work on that because someone will see that hole in you, whether it's an excessive need. Check out my course, Relationship Astrology Mastery, because I speak on that. I speak on how to stuff those holes, fill those holes within. Because if you don't, you will become a victim. You are excellent prey. You're excellent prey. If you've read the Robert Greene books, these people that want to manipulate, those narcissists, they come in through the holes. Dark spirits, if you know, those of you that are deeply spiritual inclined, the quote unquote demons and spirits, they come in through your weaknesses, your holes where you're not fulfilled, where you are not fulfilling yourself, not your spouse, not your kids, not nobody else in your life. When you're not doing these things for yourself, this is where these people in your 12th house will have a ball and take you for a ride that you will never be able to recover from. Some people, I'm sure, have not been able to recover from people and planets in their 12th house. I'm gonna talk about the positive, y'all. We're gonna lighten it up. We're gonna talk about the whole positive part of this. The positive part about this is I truly believe, this is my personal opinion, aside from the other astrologer that feels you should avoid it. I only think you should avoid it if you're not a spiritual person, if you're not daily practicing spiritual things, if you don't have a lot of boundaries, you're not big on boundaries and all that, which you need to be. But if you're not big on boundaries and stuff like that, and I would recommend you avoid people that have those planets there. Again, I get tested on it every time. Do I personally avoid people that have planets in my 12th house? I try not to, but I usually find a reason, or I see a reason that, yeah, this isn't gonna work. I did spend a long period of my life truly avoiding it, and I think that was probably the best thing. Once that situation happened to me in the 12th, I was like, whoa, don't do this. But I realized it was because of not being able to exercise boundaries in a healthy way. So therefore, these people had reign over these, and I also realized about the weaknesses, covering those holes. Say you got these things together. Depending on the sign, I know for me, 12th house people, they bring me a lot of money. It's horrible, isn't it? You've ruined my life, and you've also brought me so much dough. Most times though, I'll take back all the money that I've gotten from this situation. You can have every piece of financial that I gained from that, because the emotional mind F was not cool. Like, you can keep the money. Sometimes Mercury there is neutral. You don't know how the person is healed. If this is a person that has gone through a lot of trauma, they will be talking about you. It could turn into an obsession. It could turn into spiritual, constantly them putting spiritual curses. It could turn into that, but on a positive note, this could be a person that's talking about you in a positive way to a lot of people. Or they could be doing freaking both. They could be talking about you in a positive way, and then on the other side, let it be in Gemini. Let it be in Gemini, that 12th house. They could be talking about you wonderfully and then talking about you horribly in the other side that they're speaking on. You don't know what they're saying about you. What they think about you, you'll never know. Their true thoughts on how they feel about you. And again, I always say this, there's balance in everything. As a business owner, do you want your customers to think you're gonna steal from them or give them poor quality? As an employee at a business, do you want your boss to think you a lazy fool? Because he's gonna fire you. You wanna have a friend in your life that thinks you don't deserve what you have and that they need to take what you have. Are you gonna really walk around like, I don't care what you think about me? Come over. No, you need to know what they think about you so you can get that person out your damn life. But are you gonna know that with Mercury in the 12th? No, not necessarily. You gotta work on that. You're gonna have to meditate on what they think. You're gonna have to truly, the communication will be maybe a little difficult, or it could be very spiritual on a high vibration, right? Very spiritual, very beautiful. The communication can be sweet. Venus in the 12th, I feel bad more so for the Venus person than the 12th house person. Talk about that in my upcoming series, Venus in the 12th house, and I have another video on Venus in the 12th house as well. Let me know if you want me to go deeper. I can go deeper. We can talk about signs. You can let me know in the comments. This here is a tale more so of caution. I will still stand on this. I can't tell you to avoid all people that have planets in your 12th house. It's hard to say that in such a totalitarian way because life don't work like that. You can't even sometimes you don't even know that people got planets here. Sun in your 12th house. This person might be a good therapist for you because this person can shine a light on what's wrong with your subconscious mind. They can see like, hey, you got an issue here, you got an issue there. Let it be in Sagittarius. Oh my God, this person will make you extremely uncomfortable, but they're gonna tell you what you need to work on. You'll be able to know. Get the information from these people, keep your boundaries, but get the information because they can see what you can't see. That is the value in having people in your 12th house. They can tell you. See, me, I didn't recognize my own uniqueness and my own value with this person that came with their planets in my 12th. And that was my downfall. That was my weakness, not knowing my own value, not valuing yourself, not valuing the work you do, and not protecting it. You gotta be thankful for the lessons that we learned. Sometimes you wish you can throw the teacher out in the garbage and keep the lesson, but you needed that teacher to come and help you out. The point of this video is just to let you know that there will always be a mystery. You'll really never know if they're a friend or they are a foe to you. If you enjoyed this video and you've made it to the end of it, I'm giving you a big virtual hug and telling you to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel and take care.